Hey guys, what's up? It's Rules here, back with another video, and today I'll be showing you my favorite card tricks. So first up, this is one we call Aces in Their Faces. So you flip these two cards, and these two cards, and the goal here is to fold it all into itself. So this is a row, this is a row, this is a row, and this is a row. You have 16 cards in total. What you do is your spectator chooses one row to fold into the other. So let's say they chose this row. You would go one. See how this one was face up? Turn it face down now. And then these two are face down. You face them up. Now you do the same thing but with another row. So let's say the top one. This, and this. Now you have 4 rows. This one, this one, this one, and this one. If they chose this one, you once again fold it in. Now you're left with 2 rows, or 4 rows if they choose this one. Let's say they chose these 2. Fold it in, and then you fold it in again. Now you're left with 2 rows. Let's say they chose these 2, and you fold them in, then you fold them in again. Now you take this one or this one, but for our example, we'll take this one, fold it onto here. And now you flip it upside down. They could have chosen anywhere to do it, but they managed to pick up 1, 2, 3, 4 aces. Now let me show you how this card trick is done. What you do is you grab your deck of cards, you look through it, and you're going to grab a total of 16 cards. You want to make sure you grab the 4 aces though. So you could set these on the bottom of the deck, on the top, to the side. It's up to you really. Then you choose 12 other cards. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now you have these 12 cards, and without the spectator looking, you're going to put the aces on top of the deck. So that way, when you spread them like this, all 4 aces are right here. So then you do it any other way you want, as long as they're at least kind of neat. And now you have your 4 rows. And then 4 rows this way. So you always flip these 2 cards over. And then you always flip these 2 cards over as well. Now you fold them into each other. So if they chose this bottom row here, we fold all 4 cards on top like that. There's one of our aces. If they chose this row, you fold them all like this. Then, let's say they chose this row, right here. Then, you fold them all like this. Then, if they chose this row, then you fold them once again here. And so the main goal is to fold them into the middle. Say they chose these 2, fold them onto here. And then lastly, they chose this one, you fold it here. So now, all 4 aces should be on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright guys, so for our next card trick here, we're going to deal down 3 piles of 3 cards. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. And so now, your spectator can choose any one of these piles. Does not matter. let's say they chose this one. They can shuffle it if they'd like. Then you have them memorize the bottom card. So in this case, Queen of Diamonds. Now, with this, they put it on top of the other piles, and then on top of the other piles. Now, they hand the cards back to you, and you tell them, pick absolutely any other card except for your card. Let's say they chose the Jack of Spades. You'd spell it out. G-A-C-K of O-F Spades. S-P-A-D-E-S. Now there's two variations of this trick. You could have told them earlier to lie to you and say any other card, and now you would spell out the word truth, but we're going to spell out the word magic instead. So M-A-G-I, and on the C, it'll always be their card. It really doesn't matter. You can choose absolutely any 5-letter word. Alright guys, so for our next card trick here, I'm going to take out a prediction card. I have my prediction card here. Put it off to the side for now. And now what you're going to do is you're going to go up to your spectator and put cards down. And you're going to say, you're going to tell me when to stop putting cards down. They can go as far as they want. They can go to the bottom of the deck if they wanted. For this example, we're not going to do that. We're just going to go till right here. Now what you're going to have them do is they're going to deal 1 card to each of you, 2 cards to each of you, 3 cards to each of you, and so on, as if you were playing a card game. And so, once they reach then, when the final card lands, you give them the recap. You say, before any of this started, I chose 1 prediction card, and so, you see how there's 2 cards here? This is going to be the value of the card. So, the number, or if it's a Jack, Queen, or King, or an Ace, then that's also going to be what the value would be. And then this will be the suit. So here we have the Jack of Diamonds. My prediction was the Jack of Diamonds. Boom. Let me show you how this card trick works. So what you do is you have your shuffled deck of cards, and once the spectator hands them back to you, you say, I'm going to take out a prediction card, which will always be the top 2 cards. So, in our case, the King of Clubs, because this will always be the value, and this will always be the suit. So, first card value, second card suit. And if they are the same suit, just discreetly change them. So, King of Clubs. There we go. Got King of Clubs here. We put it off to the side for now. Then you have them deal it into the pile, or you can do it too. It really doesn't matter. Say they say stop right here. Now, as if you were playing a card game, they deal to you. This is the last card that landed. So this will always be the value. So the King, which means this will always be the suit of clubs. And that's how we predicted the card. Alright, so for this next trick, it requires absolutely no setup whatsoever. What you're going to do is, you could have your spectator shuffle if they'd like, or not. It's up to them. But what you do is you take the first card, flip it over. This one's the 5 of Diamonds. So you're going to go from 5 to King. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King. Now you're gonna flip this pile over. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna do this 4 more times. This is a 5 again. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King. And once again. Now it's 9, so it goes 10, Jack, Queen, King. You could also count to 13 if you'd like, but I prefer counting to King. Now it is a King, so this pile's done, and I'm just gonna do 1 pile over here too. This Jack, so Queen, King. Now you're gonna have your spectator choose 2 piles to eliminate. Let's say they chose this one and this one. You put those both on the bottom. Doesn't matter which one goes first. And then you ask them to flip 2 cards over from 2 of the piles. Always the top card. So let's say they chose this one, 5 of diamonds, and this one, the 9 of diamonds. So now you add 5 plus 9, which is 14, and then add 10 to whatever the value was. So in our case, 24. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put 24 cards down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Now we're left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, which means this card here is a 5. Boom. I have no idea why this trick works. Okay guys, so for this trick, I've taken out 3 prediction cards here. I'm not going to show them to you quite yet, but I'm going to look at them. And yep, those are indeed the ones I want. And so now, when you go up to your spectator, you're gonna say, deal these cards down any way you want. Absolutely any way. So they could take this many, put it in the middle. Only a few here, put them on this side, put the rest, put them on top of here. Now you have your 3 prediction cards here after they've dealt all of these down. And what you're gonna do is they're gonna choose any pile. Let's say they chose this one, and you're going to start placing cards down, and they're gonna tell you when to stop. They have to say stop before the last card though. So if they said stop right here, you take this card, mark it here, and put this on top. Now this pile is done. Let's say they chose this pile next. Take this pile, and onto the finished pile, you'll put cards down. Say they said stop right here. Mark it here. It's a face-up card. And so now, with their last pile, say they went to right here. And they can put this one on top, this one on top, and with these other cards, now you look for the face-up cards and take the card that is atop of it. 8 of diamonds, Queen of hearts, and so now we're looking at 7 of diamonds. There we go. Now, every card has a twin, right? So 7 of diamonds is the 7 of hearts, 8 of diamonds, 8 of hearts, and Queen of hearts has the Queen of diamonds. So, wouldn't it be pretty impressive if both of these were the 7s, and both of these were the 8s? And you guessed it. If there's a Queen of hearts, there's always a Queen of diamonds. Let me show you how this trick is done. I'm going to shuffle these. Without dropping any of them, hopefully. And now I'm gonna look for a row of either black or white cards, doesn't matter. Let's say we chose the 4 of hearts, 5 of diamonds, and 3 of hearts. We're gonna put these ones on the top and look for their matching pairs. So 4, 5, and 3. We found the 4 of diamonds, so we're gonna take this one out. We found the 3 right here, and here we have the 5. So you don't want to show the spectator what these cards are, but you also want to make sure they're in the same order as the cards on top. So 4, 5, 3. So let's match that. 4, 5, 3. Here. So that way the 4 is on top, and the spectator deals out cards left to right, so you match them from left to right, and then you pretend like you forgot to mention you can put the cards absolutely anywhere on here, like this, does not matter as long as the core 3 are on the bottom. So let's say they took this pile first, started dealing them down. Spectator says stop right here. You flip it up, which means that this will be the 5 of diamonds. So you put it down here. Now you have your complete pile here. Let's say they chose this pile after. Same thing. Deal them down. No, they said stop right here. So this is the 3 of diamonds, which means this is also going to be the 3, but of hearts. You put it down, and then with their final pile, once again, down, 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 stop. Flip it over, 4 of diamonds, which means this is the 4 of hearts. Then you look for the face-up cards and the card above them. So we found the 4 of diamonds, we found the 3 of diamonds, and now we have found the 5 of hearts. And since the cards were placed atop of these, that means the 4 of diamonds will have the twin of the 4 of hearts. The 3 of diamonds will have the twin of the 3 of hearts, which means the 5 of hearts will have the twin of the 5 of diamonds. Alright, so for this trick here, I've taken out the 2 white aces, but what we're going to do here is I'm going to deal down cards, and your spectator is going to tell you when to stop. So let's say they said stop right here. You take one of the aces, doesn't matter which one, mark it there, put these on top, then you do this once again. Let's say they say stop right here. Once again, mark it with the other white ace, put these on top. Now you look for the aces, and you take the card that's above them. Then you look for the other ace, and takes the card that's above it. Now, they could have chosen anywhere to stop, absolutely anywhere. But I bet they chose the 2 black aces. Pretty cool, right? Let me show you how this trick is done. So, you take out the 2 white aces from the deck, and with the black aces, you put 1 on the bottom and 1 on the top. Which means, when you're dealing down the cards, the black ace is already on the bottom, and so now, you can mark it the white ace. Meaning, the black ace will go on top of the white ace, which means now the other black ace is also on the bottom. Now you mark them down here. Say I said stop right here. Mark it. Put the cards down. Boom. Now you look for the 2 white aces and the cards atop of them. And then it'll always be the 2 black aces. Now you don't have to do it with just aces. It could be done with any card put on the bottom, or any 4 of a kind. Or you could take out the 2 white aces and put a 6 on the bottom and a 2 on the top. It'd still work as long as you memorized what the cards were. Pretty cool trick, right? Alright guys, so for this next card trick, I am going to predict the person's card. So what I'm going to do is, I've written it on this piece of instruction paper, which I'll show you guys later, but you're going to go up to your spectator and you're going to say, I'm going to deal a bunch of cards down and you're going to tell me when to stop. So you deal them down face up, and let's say they said stop right here. You would point to this card and say, is this the card you want to stop on? If they say yes, you keep this card. If they say no, you keep dealing down cards. So, now what you do is you take out that piece of paper. I've written my prediction of your card right here. You put the card on the paper, slide it towards them, tell them, don't look at it yet, and you say, look, I mean, you could have chosen the 8 of spades or the Queen of Hearts, but you know what you chose? You chose the King of Spades. Now, I'm going to show you how this one works. So, what you're going to do here is you're going to take a piece of paper, or you could ask the spectator if they have their phone on them and to open up the Notes app. I personally like to use paper. And while they're distracted, either getting paper, opening their phone, you go and take the 4 cards from the bottom and flip them over. So that way, the deck has cards that look like this on both sides. And what you do is you write down your prediction after they've given you whatever you're choosing to write with. And while they were originally distracted, you look at the bottom card, in our case, the Jack of Clubs, and you write that down. Here. And so that way, when they tell you to stop, say, do it right here, stop. They told you to stop right here. You point to this card, say, is this the card you want to stop on? Now, obviously, it's not the Jack of Clubs. It's the 10 of Clubs. But when you point to it, you also grab either their phone or your paper. You point to this, which means when you go like this, it now flips the deck over, meaning their card will now be this card. You put it onto this piece of paper, onto their phone, slide it towards them, say, look, you could have chosen to pick the 8 of diamonds, the Ace of Hearts, but then they look at it and you say, but you chose the Jack of Clubs. Their minds will be blown. Alright, so for this trick, you have the entire deck here. What you do is you say, alright, you're going to take a small pile of cards and flip it over. So now These ones are flipped over. These ones are still down. Then you say, take an even bigger pile and flip that over. And then, once that's done, they go through the cards, and the first face down card they see, so this one, I'm not going to look at it, this is their card, or in your case, this is your card. Now, I don't know what it is, but they put it back, and then they can flip these back over, they can shuffle it if they'd like. And now, I have no idea where your card is. You have no idea where your card is. But I look for it. And I find that this was not your card. But I do find that this one was your card. Alright, so for this trick, all you have to do is, before you go up to your spectator, you take the top card and look at it. So, in my case, the 7 of diamonds. You flip it back over. Then when you go up to your spectator, they'll take their small pile, flip it over, take their even bigger pile, flip that over too, and every single time. And the first face down card will always be what the top card was. So that way, when they do their shuffling, they think you have no idea what their card is. No idea at all. So then, you look through it, and you find their card. It's pretty impressive, right?